Dumelang, Dumelang, Dumelang to all the Bantu, to all the Bantu in South Africa, to all the Bantu in Africa, and to all the Bantu in the diaspora. The narrative is still the same. If you look at Paul's letter to the Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Importantly, this video continues to try to prove that the Batswana are Bantu people, and the Batswana as Bantu people are the Israelites of the Bible. Now, if you look at the first slide tries to demonstrate or tries to show to the Botswana or to the Bantu people of South Africa what it means to be a Botswana or to be called a Bantu. The first thing that one needs to say about that is that, as a matter of fact, the laws, statutes, the commandments, they were given to you. You might be shocked, but these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible were given to you by the Most High Himself. The question will be why? And the answer is found in Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. The Most High says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Most High. The Most High hath chosen you to be a special people unto Himself, above all people that are upon the earth or upon the face of the earth." All the other nations, the Europeans, the Hamites, the Moabites, all of them are the nations in the face of the earth whom the Most High didn't choose. The Most High has chosen us, me and you, to be a special people unto Himself. Now, there is always this narrative that the Old Testament doesn't talk to the New Testament. But if you go to Peter, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, you are able to pick up there still that the same that has been said in the Old Testament is being said in the New Testament. Peter writes and says, "But you are a special people, a holy nation, priests and kings, a people given up completely to God, so that you may make clear the virtues of Him who took you out of the dark into the light of heaven." Now, if you see there, you can see the Most High, because the entire Bible is His word, through Peter says, you are a special people, a holy nation, priests and kings. So you are the ones who are supposed to take responsibility of teaching the Bible, because you are the priests of that Bible. And obviously, if you are a king, you must be having a kingdom. Now, if you are a king, you are being promised a kingdom of heaven by the Most High. When we pray, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come." The kingdom that we are praying for is the kingdom where we are going to be kings, queens, princes, and princesses. Now, just as I have been putting it out there, Batho, Abantu, the Batswana are the children of Isiraele. In South Africa, if you are old enough to have known about the word kafir, this is what the Batswana and all the Bantu in South Africa were called. They were called kafirs by the white man. This, for me, is exactly what the Most High already told us in Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And the Most High says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Most High shall lead thee." We find ourselves in South Africa, and in South Africa, the white man has been calling us by a byword, kafirs. Now, I took the opportunity to look at the Merriam-Webster dictionary. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the word kafir refers to the word that is used in South Africa. The use of the term kafir to refer to a black African is a profoundly offensive and inflammatory expression of contemptuous racism that is sufficient ground for legal action. The term is associated especially with the era of apartheid, when it was commonly used as an offensive racial slur, and its offensiveness has only increased over time. It now ranks as perhaps the most offensive term in South African English. Now, the children of Isiraele, the Bantu, the Batswana, they were called by that byword kafirs. Remember what I said? I said, prove all things. So we're moving towards that particular objective. When you go to Deuteronomy 28 in the Old Testament, you read about the curses that the children of Israel had to go through. If you look at the Bantu in South Africa, look at the sign on the right-hand side. This is the sign of the old apartheid era. The sign reads, "White persons only." This beach and the amenities thereof have been reserved for white persons only. Now, the enjoyment of the natural resources of the Most High, your God, Ibonyena Mudimu wa Abrahama, Isaka le Jacobe, the God who gave you the sea, apartheid told us, as the children of Israel, that we cannot be able to enjoy those. Now, if you look at the left-hand side, that is a picture of the slavery of the Bantu people in South Africa, in Africa, All over the world, the black man has been a slave. Now that is in Deuteronomy 28. You will see that very clearly. No person other than a black Bantu has gone through the slavery, the curses that are depicted in Deuteronomy 28. The Most High, through his prophets, has been talking to us, and we are not listening. In Zechariah 1, verse 3, the Most High says, "Therefore say you to them, Thus said the Lord of hosts, Turn you to me, said the Lord of hosts, and I will turn to you." Now, turning to the Most High means nothing but just going back to who you are, the special people that have received his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what makes the Bantu special. And the Most High speaks through Zechariah that we must turn back to him, and he will turn back to us. If you look at the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the slavery, the poverty, the suffering that we are going through as the Bantu, it's not going to stop until such time that we turn back to him, for him to turn back to us. Now you will be going back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High in the first 5 books. And when you go back, you may be surprised that you don't understand, and you cannot get understanding of what it is that you are reading. But the Most High does give us a formula by which we can be able to understand his book, which makes reference to all his commandments that we are supposed to live by. The Most High says in Psalms 111, verse 10, "A good understanding have they that keep his commandments." Now you will not be able to have an understanding of the Bible or the commandments of the Most High, the laws and the statutes of the Most High, if you do not keep his commandments. His commandments, amongst others, are: remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Those are some of the commandments that the Most High has given to us. Now, in order for you to be able to understand the book of the Most High, you need to keep his commandments and observe them. And the moment you do that, the Most High will gradually open your eyes and will gradually make you understand his word. If you look at Isaiah 28 from verses 9 to 10. The question is asked, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. Now, what does that mean? My understanding thereof, this refers to us as the Batswana being truly born again. Born again how? Born again by going back to who we are, going back to who we are in relation to the Most High, going back to the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave to us through our forefather Moshe. This is what the Son of the Most High, Ibomupulusi, told us. He said, unless you are born again, you shall not be able to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, when you look at what the Son of the Most High, Mupulusi, said with regards to being born again, you can be able to relate with what the prophet said when he said, the Most High will teach knowledge, and he will make to understand doctrine them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Those can only be babies. Only babies can be weaned from the milk and can be drawn from the breast. Now we need to be born again so that the Most High can have favor on us. Furthermore, a good understanding we will be able to get when we read the Bible, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Now, this understanding will come forth when we read the Bible in this particular manner. The Bible is not a novel. The Bible is to be understood when we look at it from precept to precept, from line to line, here a little and there a little. The Most High still emphasizes the need for His children to keep His commandments. He says in John 15, chapter 10, if ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. This is the Christ talking. The Christ is very clear. He kept the commandments of the Most High. It is not a wonder that the Most High loved him and he abode in his love. So if we love the Most High, we need to abide by his love through the keeping of his commandments. There's no two way about it. If you want to avoid the curses and bring them to an end, that is the way to go. We have been lied to, and it needs to stop. Now, I have given indication and said the Batswana, their customs and their traditions are 100% similar to the customs and traditions of the children of Israel in the Bible. The word mohar, which is found in Strong's Concordance H4117, mohar means to obtain or to acquire by paying purchase price, to give a dowry, to obtain in exchange. Mahar, mahar, mahadi, mahar, mahadi, a primitive root, perhaps rather the same as H4116, through the idea of readiness in assent to bargain for a wife, i.e., to wed, to endow. It's a surety. Now, mohar, mahar, as you find it in Strong Concordance, depicts the dowry that is to be paid by the elders of the bridegroom to the elders of the bride. Now, when you put up a comparison of that custom of the Hebrew Israelites as depicted in the Bible, you will find that the Batswana have got what we call patlo. And there again comes the word that is similar to mohar, mahar, which is mahadi. The Batswana marriage is not just a walk down the passage. Patlo is the asking the hand of a woman in marriage. The elders of the groom and the bride, they meet, and the groom's elders pay mahadi. Now, if you look at that similarity, it's not a coincidence. It is because the children of Israel are indeed the Batswana in terms of the way they do things and the way they speak. Let nobody deceive you and tell you otherwise. Now, this is an article that I was able to get hold of. And of course, if you look at the picture on the right-hand side, you can be able to see that this is not young boys. These are elderly men who are leading the delegation to seek a wife for their son. Now, the article explains Patlo and Mahadi. Patlo is done in the early morning by married men only around 5 a.m. at the khotla or the court of the wife, to be where they will find other men waiting for them. Women will accompany them and remain behind while men enter the khotla. Tradition demands that uncles from both families lead the activities of the marriage rites. After the approval by the uncle at the khotla, then men go to report to the women who accompanied them that their process was successful. Women putting on their Magagolwane, the shawl, led by the maternal uncle's wife, will start with an ululation, and the women will go and ask for a girl's hand in marriage, patlo. This process is reserved for married women only. After the approval, then they will give her counseling, golaiwa, by maternal uncle's wife and other women present at that moment. After the approval, women will go and report back to the men, and the process of the dowry will start. Usually, the dowry can come in a form of cows or cash equivalent to the cows. Now, that's how patlo and magadi are paid out to the bride. This is typical of what happens amongst the children of Israel as per the Bible, the word of the Most High. Until next time, bye bye.